Hi, GISD parents. I'm here to talk to you today about something that's very, very important, and it is the dangers of apps. Apps that your kids use on their iPads and on their phones and on their tablets that can be very, very dangerous. There's a list of about 15 apps. I'm not going to go over all of those with you today, but there are a few that I want to point out to you and explain to you why they are so dangerous so that you can investigate what your kids are doing and know what they're doing on their phones, because the greatest risk to your kids right now are their electronic devices. It's not being out in public. It's not any of those things. It really is the stranger that lurks behind their technology. So one of the apps I want to talk about is TikTok. It's very popular. Your kids are not going to like me for saying this, but TikTok is a very dangerous app. And the reason why is because it does not have a lot of controls, and a lot of explicit content can go on that app. If your kids want to use TikTok, then you learn how to put it on your phone, and then you guys can create fun TikTok videos that way. But any kid under the age of 18 really should not be on TikTok. Let me talk a little bit about a very popular app also, Snapchat. I use Snapchat. I do not think Snapchat is very wise for anyone, again, under the age of about 18, although their policy states otherwise. And here's why. All these apps we're going to talk about today typically have what's called geolocation, which means your kids' location can be found by strangers or hackers or even friends of where they may be if they don't have their privacy settings set properly. The other part of most of these apps we're going to talk about, they have a private messaging feature. And that's what makes it extremely dangerous as well, because kids can be having conversations with strangers or their friends privately, and you don't have any access to that. And that can be very dangerous. Kids can get off into subject matter that is way beyond what they should be discussing. So be aware of Snapchat as well as Facebook or Instagram. Instagram also has, I wouldn't consider that a dangerous app, but it can be because it does have a private messaging feature on it, and it does have a lot of rooms that you can go into. And if your privacy settings aren't set appropriately, then it can be dangerous. Some of the other apps I want to talk about real quickly are Grindr, Tinder. They're dating, quote unquote, dating apps. No one under 17 should be on those apps. No one. They can be very dangerous because it shows you how to meet up with strangers. They're in, you can put the parameters up when it has, I want to meet somebody 10 miles from me, 5 miles from me, 50 miles from me, a block from me. And it shows you where those other people are. That's why that can be dangerous. Facebook, with anything else, a lot of the kids don't use Facebook. They use Facebook Live a little bit more, and that can be okay. But again, you want to make sure you know who your kids are following or friends with on any of those apps. You want to know who they are. I also want to talk to you for a moment about what's called vault apps. Also, you may have heard of them as calculator apps. If your kid has more than one calculator on their phone, something is wrong. A vault app can be disguised as a calculator. And what a vault app does is it allows a kid, or anyone for that matter, to hide videos, other apps, text, contact, anything that a person would want to hide in that vault app, and it's disguised as a calculator. So if you happen to see your kid's phone and there is a more than one calculator app on there. Now this calculator app will pull up like any other app. You can do mathematical functions and equations on this particular app. But when the owner of that app puts the passcode in, all of these things begin to come out. Hidden apps, hidden photos, hidden videos. It's extremely dangerous. So one thing I would advise you to do is take a look at your kid's phone. If they have more than the factory calculator on their phone, if they've put another calculator on their phone, you're probably looking at a vault app, and you're going to need more help. Also, let's talk just briefly about gaming. A lot of the games, such as Minecraft, Discord, Fortnite, all these games seem like fun. But again, these kids are playing games with strangers. And if you don't know who they personally are, those kids can be having conversations with strangers over very simple things. And before you know it, that kid feels like they're friends with them. And then they may give over some information about location or what have you. It happens a lot. We see it a lot in our agency. So know what your kids are doing online. Be fearful. You need to be fearful about what is out there, but be educated. Don't just put your head in the sand and say, well, I don't really understand technology, and so I'm not. There are plenty of people that can help you with that. I'm certainly one of those, and you probably know a lot of teachers or neighbors or younger people that can help you figure out what is what. Now, I don't want to just tell you all this information and kind of scare you about apps. I want to talk to you about how can you monitor your kids online. There are many, many ways that you can. What I would start out with is I would start out going to whoever your service provider is. Say it's Verizon, say it's Sprint, say it's whoever it may be. Go and see what they have available for you that maybe you're already paying for that could be free, that you can monitor what some of the things are that your kids can be doing online. Let me also recommend a app that is, it's a service, it's very inexpensive. It's called Guardian. I would go check out that website and take a look. It's going to show you all the neat features that it has to help you watch over what your kids are doing online. For example, some of the features are, it will send you a copy of text messages that your kids send to other people and that they receive. Same thing with photos. You can limit, this app also allows you to limit time on your kids being on certain apps. It can be extremely feature rich and very close monitoring, or you can scale it back based on your family's needs and economically what's best for you. So I didn't want to just give you this information and go, you should be scared and watch all this, and not have a way where you can find some information and monitor what your kids are doing. And you may be saying to yourself, my kid would never do that. They would never get online and do things they shouldn't do. Many kids don't mean to. It happens in the blink of an eye because this technology is beyond what their understanding of it really is and their comprehension of what's on the other side of that camera or that piece of technology. If you in the future have any questions about apps or need some guidance about what your kids may or may not be doing, I would be more than happy to help you. You can contact me at the Hunt County Children's Advocacy Center, Amy Ramsey, 903-454-9999. I hope this information was helpful for you.